Hi, this is Millie Kay, and it's Tuesday, August 15th, 2017. And the topic of this video is 3 of the lakes and dams on the Upper Feather River that are owned by the Department of Water Resources and part of the State Water Project. And since it all starts with the water that comes down from the Sierra Nevada mountain range, that's where I'm starting this video. And this blue dot right here is where Oroville Dam is. And then the Sierra Nevada mountain range runs along the eastern side of California. The Oroville Dam lies on the western slope of the Sierra Nevadas. And if I make this larger, you can see that mountain range running along the border. Here's the border between California and Nevada right here. And Sacramento's over here. So you can see the mountain range runs along this way. I'll show you what it looks like. So this is the shape of the mountain range. And the Sierra Nevadas are about over 400 miles long and 50 to over 60 miles wide. And the part that I'm going to be talking about in this video is this upper section right here, this northern part, which is the Sacramento River Watershed. And then there's also the central area and the southern that I won't go into, but I'm just going to look at the watershed for this upper section of the Sierra Nevadas. And in order to do that, this is a really good map right here from the sacriver.org. And this shows that the Sacramento River Basin, the Sacramento River Watershed, is made up of subregions. So this is the entire area, and then within it is, in the blue area, is the Feather River Subregion. So all of these areas end up in the Sacramento River, but in looking at this Feather River Subregion, you can see that there's 2 watersheds within it, the Lower Feather River and the Upper Feather River. And this includes all waters of the Feather River from its headwaters in the Sierra Nevada downstream to the Sacramento River confluence. So that pretty well outlines the subregion that I'm going to be talking about. And actually, I'll focus on this the Upper Feather River part, because that's where the watershed that goes into Lake Oroville. Everything above Lake Oroville is the area that I'm going to talk about. And to define a watershed, it's an area of land that contains a common set of streams and rivers that all drain into a single larger body of water. And this Upper Feather watershed is one of the highest precipitation areas in the state. And that includes rainfall and snow. And then I want to read this before I go further. A natural reservoir. Snow serves as an enormous natural reservoir. Mountain meadows, especially in the northern Sierra, also play a critical role in the natural storage of water. The Sierra Nevada provides so much of the state's water because the mountains catch eastern moving storms before they reach Nevada, and snow accumulates at higher elevations. The mountains act like a natural reservoir that holds the snowpack until temperatures rise. During the late spring, the snow melts to provide significant runoff that supports many uses and activities. And then this is a really good map to show a lot of things. And I want to show you first, looking here, Sacramento is down here, and here's the Sacramento River that runs down, and then the Feather River flows into the Sacramento River a little bit above Sacramento at Verona. And so we know now that the Feather River, this lower part, is that lower Feather watershed. And the Yuba River here also flows into Yuba City and into the Feather River, but that's coming from another watershed. But they all end up in the Sacramento River anyway. And same with the Bear River, another watershed, and it flows into the Feather River, and then they all go into the Sacramento River. So I'm not going to get into that lower part though. I'm going to start here where you see Oroville. And then this upper Feather River part is made up of the Feather River's north, middle, and south forks. And then there's also a west branch, and they all flow into Lake Oroville. And so this water that comes from the Sierra Nevadas goes through the lakes, rivers, creeks, and streams, and navigates its way through various dams and power plants, and makes its way to Lake Oroville. And this whole area, this whole catchment area for Lake Oroville is approximately 4,000 square miles. That's what the basically the drainage or catchment or watershed for Lake Oroville. And the South Fork of the Feather River mainly has projects of the South Feather Water and Power Agency. And the North Fork of the Feather River, especially up here in the upper North Fork, is pretty much PG&E territory, Pacific Gas and Electric. They have a lot of hydroelectric power projects up here. And then the Middle Fork, if you follow the Middle Fork, there's Lake Davis and Frenchman Lake. And then up here on the east branch of the North Fork, just above those lakes, is Antelope Lake. And these three lakes, what they have in common is that they all belong to the Department of Water Resources. And so DWR owns them, and they're all part of the State Water Project. And that's what I'm going to focus on for this video. Antelope, Davis, and Frenchman Lakes. So I made a terrain map, and I will see if I can put a link to it in the description box, because I put together a lot of information about each one of these lakes, and you can go there and read information about them, including Lake Oroville, which is down here. So just to get oriented, Lake Oroville is down here, and then up here we have Antelope, Davis, and Frenchman Lakes. And they're all in Plumas County, all owned by the Department of Water Resources. And they were all created for basically recreational use, as well as for releasing water to the fisheries. And Lake Davis also provides water to the town of Portola down here. And I think, well, this gives you a pretty good view of how this water comes down from the Sierras and makes its way down to Lake Oroville. And the first lake I'll start with is Antelope Lake. And this is a Google satellite view. And Antelope Lake is about 5,000 feet elevation. That's the elevation at the crest of the dam. And I'll just show you here how it fits into the terrain. So that's Antelope Lake. And here's the dam and spillway. And it's an earth-filled dam that was completed in 1963. And it's 120 feet high and 1,320 feet across. Let me see, so you can see the rest of this. The surface area of this lake is 930 acres, and the reservoir capacity is 22,570 acre feet. And it has a shoreline of about 15 miles. The primary inflows and outflows are Indian Creek. So when they built it, they dammed up Indian Creek. And I'll make this a little bigger so you can zero in on a few things. I find it very interesting how it's configured at the top of the spillway there. This whole area over in here. And this dam has the longest crest right here of any of the 3 dams that I'm covering today. And the catchment area for this lake is 71 square miles. So its own watershed is 71 square miles. And this must be Indian Creek. So that's Antelope Lake. Here's another shot of it. It's completely surrounded by the Plumas National Forest. And the trees up there are pine and fir. And here's another shot. I really like that one. And the next one is Davis Lake. This is Lake Davis. And its elevation is almost 6,000 feet. So it sits pretty far up there. And here's the dam. The reservoir capacity of Lake Davis is 84,000 acre feet. And Lake Davis is the largest lake of these 3. The dam is a rock-fill and earthen dam completed in 1966. It's 132 feet high and 800 feet across. The shoreline of this lake is about 32 miles. When they built it, they dammed up Big Grizzly Creek, so its major inflows and outflows are Big Grizzly Creek. Some other creeks also flow into there. And if you notice over here, the spillway, the concrete chute ends here, and then the water just flows over the side of the mountain. So let me see if I can make that bigger. There's Grizzly Creek. So yeah, the name of the dam is Grizzly Dam or Grizzly Valley Dam. And this is a shot of the water coming over that spillway. And this was in April of this year, so during snowmelt season. See if I can zero in on that spillway. Yeah. And the catchment area for Lake Davis is 44 square miles. So here's the water going down into Big Grizzly Creek. And here's another shot of that same spillway from above. Same time of year, April of this year. And it's named for California Assemblyman Lester T. Davis, who died in 1952. And the next one is Frenchman Lake. And Frenchman Lake is about 5,600 feet in elevation. And I'll show you how it sits up there. And this is its dam. This is, let's see, 139 feet high and 720 feet across. So it has the tallest dam of these three lakes. And the reservoir has a capacity of about 55,000 acre-feet of water. The shoreline is about 21 miles. And this is a rock fill and earthen dam completed in 1961, as it was an irrigation project of the California Department of Water Resources. Let's see. Its primary inflows and outflows are Little Last Chance Creek. So there's the spillway. And that'd be Little Last Chance Creek coming out of there. And the catchment area for this lake is 82 square miles. It's named after a Frenchman who name was Claude Francois Seltier, and he was a French immigrant who settled in this area in the 1800s. And there's another shot of it. You can see the dam over here. And Little Last Chance Creek. And there's the spillway. See if we can look at Little Last Chance Creek a little closer. And this was in April also, snowmelt season this year. So there's the creek. Little Last Chance Creek. And then this is Frenchman Lake. And I'll just leave you with this view. And I'd like to thank you for viewing my videos and subscribing. And I hope you'll like, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate all of your subscriptions and all of your views. Comments are welcome. And I'll see you later.